everybody, how are you all doing? Breaking news. Guys, no time to waste time. One of Sophie's shiny new trustees just took a flying leap off the Sentebale ship barely a month after joining. I could not wait to get on here to do this video today. Believe me. Remember when we said her house of cards was shaking? Well, one of the dominoes just face planted. And I love it for her. Good for her. That is exactly what she has been looking for, and she finally found it. I am so pleased. I can't even begin to tell you how pleased I am about this new development. Today's video is not going to be a long one. It's just to share this information about Sophie's shiny new trustee deciding that she was going to step back. And you know what? I think that is the best move she could have made, because there is no way else that she would have been able to protect her own reputation considering the circumstances. What am I talking about? But before I get into it, uh if this is your first time on this channel, do your girl a solid. Hit that subscribe button if you love a little truth with your tea. And don't forget, ding that bell, because the Palace PR machine don't rest. And neither do I. Even when I'm not talking, I am observing everything that is happening in the Sussex world space. Let's talk about this mysterious recipe. Dr. Margaret Ikpoh, a respected GP. GPs are like the local family doctors that you have here in the UK. She is one of the newly minted trustees and Sophie's bestie. She has officially stepped down from the Sentebale board just weeks after Sophie stormed in and pulled the corporate Game of Thrones on Prince Harry. According to a sensibly worded spokesperson, the good doctor left because of, wait for it, intense scrutiny. Ma'am, what did you think was going to happen when you practically hijacked Harry's charity and ran to Sky News where like you were auditioning for Housewives of Royal Drama? I mean, seriously, what did these people think was going to happen? Anyway, Sis says she stepped out of respect for her family and other professional commitments. I am guessing that that translates into, I did not sign up to be dragged through British tabloids because my best friend decided to go rogue. Oh dear. She did not count the cost of what she was getting herself into. Anyway, guys, the tea is so hot. I didn't even take time to say hello to you guys. Let's correct that right now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Isabella Bank's YouTube channel. I'm Wheezy, and it's a pleasure, it's a joy to be here with you this evening. Oh my goodness. Now, guys, let's pivot to this real shady narrative being pushed that Prince Harry lost interest in Africa after marrying Meghan. Sir, make it make sense, okay? So, according to Chief Koabane Teko, who happens to be Princesso's brother, Harry's absence killed the spirit of Sentebale. He is out here saying, I haven't seen him since we got married, since he got married. Now, guys, if you know anything about African older men, you would know that respectfully, African elders do not mince words, okay? He probably just thought he was being candid, you know how our cousins, our uncles be, not realizing that the Telegraph was going to twist his words like a wet towel on laundry day. So, what has happened is that the Telegraph sent reporters to Lesotho digging around for information, and they happen to come across Prince Seso's brother, who is telling them that Prince Harry sort of lost steam with Sentebale since he married Meghan. But let's be real, because I'm trying to look at it from the perspective of this kind of gentleman in the area that he's coming from, Lesotho. Travel to Africa is not cheap, and Prince Harry and Meghan have been going through it now for some years, trying to stabilize in America, trying to build their family. And as a matter of fact, I would say they are still going through it as we speak. It has not been easy. But typically, people back home in Africa don't realize the rigors that we go through because they just feel that life is much easier abroad, wherever it is in the world that you're coming from. Having said that, I'm guessing that um hold on. Prince Harry obviously didn't turn his back on Sentebale. He funded the operations, obviously. He raised money when British media were dragging him and his wife through fire. But because he didn't show up for afternoon lunch, gathering around the fire as they typically do, then the people in Sentebale, or should I say, the people who probably are looking at Prince Harry from a distance, are thinking, "Oh, he hasn't been to Lesotho in such a long time. It's because he got married." Here's what I think has really gotten going on. The media has mastered the art of recruiting Judas figures around the Sussexes. They still think that dealing with the same Harry that who was 19 years old. They don't realize how much time has gone on in between. Right now, we're dealing with a situation where one moment you're a trusted friend, the next moment you're starring in the Daily Mail's new miniseries, Betrayal and Backstabbing, the Royal Edition. But weirdly, I would say that's kind of helpful. As painful as it is, it's kind of helpful for Harry and Meghan. The media actually helping them sort through their friends and the enemies that they have. I would much rather know who my enemies are than to grow old sipping cocktails with a snake in Gucci loafers. Sorry. As for the chief, I don't think he's really a villain. I think it's one of those cases where he thought he was talking to normal reporters, the way they have reporters in Lesotho, and not realizing that he's dealing with demons on earth. And the British media have twisted his words out of perspective. Just a second, I am echoing. Let me find. Yep. Okay. Right. So, stepping out from behind his famous brother's shadow, and I'm talking about Prince Seso now, he probably thought, yes, this is my moment to shine. I'm the older brother, but nobody really asked me any question. Let me come out here and talk about what I know about Prince Harry. Yes, Prince Harry is our brother, but he hasn't been back in such a long time. Not knowing that is going to be spun like he is shading Meghan. I guarantee it, that somebody in the family must have told him, don't speak to any reporters. And he will probably be like, I'm an educated man. I got this. You know how they do. Next thing you know, it's international news. And he's somewhere in Lesotho thinking to himself, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Well, you spoke too much and you were not careful. You're not understanding the situation. I'm almost feeling like Prince Harry needs to bring all the people he works with under one roof and give them press briefing on how to deal with issues relating to him going forward. Because it's quite clear that some people are still very innocent about how to deal with the British media. Anyway, the British media have basically turned into they've basically turned into the FBI. One day they're outside Meghan's old business. The next day they are flying to Lesotho, like they're doing investigative journalism on Prince Harry and Meghan. Like what? Somebody tell me what exactly is going on here. What exactly is going on here? Uh, this is not journalism at this point. I would say at this point, this is not journalism. This is harassment. They are literally hunting Harry and Meghan down. Have you guys noticed that since Meghan launched her businesses, the attacks have increased in vitriol and malicious intent? Anyway, I would say that this is the reason why I remain 100% committed to filing that petition at the United Nations that I keep telling you guys about. Hold on, let me look at your comments because I can see some juicy comments in here. Little Mark says, didn't he go on 3 trips to Africa in the last couple of years? He's been to visit African Park with a bunch of dignitaries, then Nigeria and Lesotho. Well, Lesotho are complaining that he hasn't been there in 6 years. But deep within the article, you will see that the Telegraph actually deep within the article, you will see that the Telegraph actually corrected his own narrative because they know of at least 2 times that Prince Harry has been to Lesotho. So you are correct there. And uh, Peach Rose says, does that man have a TV or smartphone to know what is going on for the last years? I would say that it seems obvious to us because we are in this echo chamber and we are following the news on a daily, but a lot of people are far removed from the situation. This is the reason why I suggested that I think Prince Harry needs to do a conference, bring all the people that he works with into one place and give them um, a press training on how to deal with the press as it relates to him. I think that would be quite helpful. Little Mark again says giving 1.5 million and doing polo match every year to raise money doesn't sound like not caring. I guess that's what you meant to say, not caring to me. Absolutely correct. When I saw that, I was like, where have you guys ever seen 1.5 million before? But again, close enough to the family, but far removed away from the situation. Uh, Karma is knocking on the door of what's her name? Sophie. She is going to lose all her board members. And I'm not surprised that the doctor has resigned because she is a doctor in the UK, which means that the same kind of scrutiny that they give, and she's been connected to Prince Harry, albeit through Sophie, which means that the same kind of scrutiny that they're giving to Prince Harry at the moment is going to flow down to her. That's one. Number two, the circumstances in which she came in means that the Sussex squad is on her ass. And she will probably have friends who are squaddies as well, who have told her when the news came out that no, 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 no. Forget what that Sophie told you. That's this move you just made is a snake move. You need to stop. So yeah. Gwendolyn Daniel says these people need to do their homework before they speak. I would say kind of, but at the same time, this is similar to the situation when you're dealing with anybody who speaks about Prince Harry at the moment. And I think at some point we are going as a squad need to give people some slack, and which is what until it is proven, like Sophie proved herself, that they actually had malicious intent, because you can bet that even if the man did not say anything negative or did not imply anything negative, the British media will twist it as though he has said something negative. And the last thing we want to do is to alienate those people who actually like Prince Harry and Meghan. So exacting that kind of what you would expect to happen from whichever country you are listening from, I think is what is unreasonable. It is for us to know the reality of the situation and for us to, based on what we know, then be able to sift through the comments, to sift through the newspaper articles and say, I can see what happened here. Because we've seen it too many times. Are we talking about that the comments that were made in Nigeria by the Nigerian First Lady? Are we talking about the comments that were made by the Colombian First Lady? Are we talking about every single time someone says something, they find a way to twist it? So we as a squad, we need to be different until the person in question proves themselves otherwise, like Sophie did, like that former military guy who Prince Harry wrote about in his book did, you know? So Cecile says best friend, brother serving on the board and as consultants made me look up malfeasance, nepotism, conflict of interest, and non-profit governance issues. Sophie will never pass muster on transparency. Honestly, honestly, she won't. She's not. She's kidding herself if she thinks that she would. Um, let's see. Sophie is a crook. Where has Prince Seso been? He should have been watching what that unscrupulous woman was doing to Sentebale as well. That is a point because he seems to be way back in the background. But I learned the patrons of Sentebale don't necessarily have day-to-day governance of what's happening with Sentebale. That's the reason why they have a CEO, and they leave them to get on with the business of running the day-to-day affairs of the charity. They just come up with the big ideas and uh, approvals of certain projects that they're interested in. Um, let's see. Okay, let's see. Ooh. Lessons, toots. I think that the press are panicking as well. I think that they are panicking. And guess what is coming up? Apart from the security case, the next big case that they have coming up is the Daily Mail case. As each day goes by, we're getting closer and closer to the Daily Mail case in 2026. We're already in April. That means that we're 8 months away from the Daily Mail case. Um, 8 months away from the Daily Mail case. Okay, so guys, I think that was all I had for you guys this evening. That is all I had. The media may twist, the board may shift, but the truth, it's going to come out in the end. It always does. I believe that part of the reason why this lady has stepped down is because there is a lawsuit that Sophie is dealing with in the background, even though she is being braggadocious and is trying to sound like she's tough and she can handle it. But at the end of the day, it's a lawsuit, as I suspect that there is going on behind the scenes. That means that this trustee may have been roped into that lawsuit. And maybe, just maybe, one of the conditions for dropping the lawsuit against her is that she should step down as trustee. I am just in right now, but that's what seems logical to me in terms of a loss, the legal machinations going on behind the scenes. But around here, we don't just sip the tea, we boil the whole pot. Guys, so what do you think? Tell me your theories. What do you think about Dr. Ikpo's exit? Do you agree with my idea of this, what has happened behind the scenes? Think Princess's brother was right to say anything. He has just shut. And do you think that I'm correct that Telegraph twisted his words, or do you think that he's just jealous of Harry Princess's relationship? Anyway, guys, that's all I have for this evening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of these updates. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And until next time, this is Wheezy signing off. Peace. Ciao.